Hello everyone, and you're watching Truly, Madly, Intentionally Mom, the place where I like to share my parenting experiences to help raise consciousness and intentionality around parenting. This is episode number 4 of the Nurturing Imagination series, and the links to the first 3 episodes should appear somewhere here on the top as a suggestion. If not, you'll find them in the description box down below. Today's episode is all about being a passive playmate when playing with our children. And stick with me to the end because that is when I will share what I think is the single most important thing to do when playing with our children. But for now, if your child is anything like mine, they will want you to constantly play with them. And what happens when my child asks me to play, say, ice cream shop with her? I say, okay, let's play ice cream shop. And I immediately begin to throw my creative ideas in. I say, okay, let's set up our shop here at this table, and this yoga block can be our cash register. And shall we make this dolly our customer? And let's use these cards as pretend money. And so on. What's wrong with this, you ask? Okay, if you observe keenly, when an adult rushes into the play with their adult speed of thinking, their adult creativity and ideas, and their adult force in general, the child is thrown away and baffled and stumbles to follow along and catch up. In this baffled state, children very often struggle to catch up with just our train of thought, let alone unleash their own imaginative potential. And although we come from a well-meaning place with the intent of getting genuinely involved in their play and make it interesting for them, the flip side is that we become the directors of the play. This robs our children of the opportunity to imagine and set up play scenes the way they would imagine it to be. If we allow their imagination to run the show, we might find them creating, say, a scene set in a fairy tale world where ice creams grow on trees. And on a side note, at this point it is also important that we don't turn their ideas down as trivial or impractical. But coming back to being the passive playmate, another very important aspect to consider is that we adults are always going to be better, faster, more skilled, or just simply better resourced for whatever skill the play needs, simply because we are adults. So unless we intentionally toss the ball back into our child's court, it is going to stay in ours. And when we take on center stage and begin to direct the play, we quickly become entertainers and our children become the audience. And when we play for them in this manner, solve their problems for them, or insist on a certain rigid way of doing things, it robs them of the opportunity to make their own discoveries through play. So what does this being a passive playmate look like in practicality? So when asked to play ice cream shop, we could come in with enthusiasm, so we still retain the enthusiastic energy and say something like, okay, ice cream shop, yay! And then throw the ball back at the child and ask, so where shall we start? And then wait patiently and allow their ideas to unfold. We need to put ourselves in an observer's seat, a very involved observer, but one who doesn't say much or doesn't take on the mic. Play is where children feel powerful, and so it is important that we hand them that power and that we don't take over the mic. If your children are used to being the director, you being the director of their play, it might take them a while to get used to this new model, and you might find them a bit confused at first, but I'm sure they will take over before you know it. And now we come to the most important part that I had said I'll share in the end. So all this said and done, the most important thing in play is having fun. So if too much analyzing and too much shoulds and should nots take the fun away from your play experience with your child, then please just continue to have fun in whatever way you do. But often, when we have ideas planted somewhere in our subconscious, it is easier for us to remind ourselves to take just a tiny step back when we notice that we are taking on center stage. And that is exactly what the purpose of this episode is. Thank you very much for sticking with me to the end, and I'll be back with some more episodes in this series soon. Signing off for now, but before I go, if the type of content that I create speaks to you, then it would mean the world to me if you subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know every time I upload a new episode. Thank you and bye bye.